There's lots of stuff going on in the news, of course, like always. So just going to try to wrap up some of the things I've been seeing quickly so you guys can get my take on these subjects. So the first one is Donald Trump got them to release the hostages and negotiate a ceasefire in Palestine. However, that was immediately violated by the Israelis and violated, quote unquote, by Hamas. Now, interestingly, as soon as the ceasefire took place, remnants of Daesh, the locals are reporting it is. Now, you're like, Daesh, who is Daesh? Let's go on a little history walk, shall we? Daesh is the region where ISIS comes from. So generally people call them Daesh bags because that's what they are. Now, Daesh, which originally became Al-Qaeda and was used to fight the Russians in the 1980s in Afghanistan and was imported in there by people like Graham Fuller of the CIA. Okay, so if you go back, that's how it all began. And now they're called ISIS, and they're used to, create terror in the minds of people that still consume mainstream media all across the world. Whenever they need, a convenient beheading to start war again, here comes ISIS with a professional film crew and a bunch of people being shot in the head. And of course, that video goes viral because all of the pro-Israel accounts start pushing it. One interesting thing about that is ISIS, could also stand for Israeli Secret Intelligence Service, which one of them stated. So, also interestingly, ISIS has basically never attacked Israel, even though they've attacked like every country in the surrounding area. And another fun, interesting fact about ISIS was back in the day, they were posting all over Twitter, beheading videos, actual killing videos, thousands and thousands of Daesh bags on Twitter. And Control Sec and myself and other Anons went to battle against these guys and got a ton of their accounts removed. I would get 10 plus reports a day of how an account I reported got removed. The shitty part about that was every time you went to report one of these accounts, you had to go look at the account, and the account would be posting all types of horrific, violent shit. And you're like, how is this allowed on Twitter? And this is back when it was still Twitter and it was owned by Jack Dorsey. And it would take multiple accounts to take these accounts down, even though they were posting beheading videos and stuff of that nature right on Twitter, which at the same time, Twitter was completely able to censor anyone talking about certain subjects. Like if you mentioned a certain Brian Podesta and tied him to anything to do with his brother, you would immediately get your tweet removed from Twitter. So they were able to censor political speech, but somehow they were not able to censor, terrorism on their platform. So I guess at least Elon Musk has fixed that. But what he hasn't fixed is people posting ridiculous propaganda pieces for Israel and getting paid in the really crazy thing is, so it came out, what else is going on? They've pushed Charlie Kirk out of the news. I've not seen any new information that would make me change my mind on what took place that day. The only thing I saw that was kind of interesting, but it was also very, very, very far-fetched, was the whole, it was a hologram, and they had a hologram under the tent, and all that kind of stuff. I thought that was interesting, and I would give it a 1 chance in 6 million type thing. I also saw people kind of look at they were able to explode cell phones. Someone said, oh, maybe they exploded the microphone up into his neck. That was also kind of an interesting theory. But if I had to go with any theory that seems to make sense to me the most, is still that it was a low caliber round that was shot from closer range and from behind, hitting him there and exit wound there. That still seems to be the most likely thing that happened. All the other stuff is interesting. I don't think you can discount any of it, but I don't think it's the most likely answer. But I'm not saying it's not what happened. It's crazy how this is now like the new JFK assassination, where there's like magic bullet theories and all this bullshit. There's absolutely no way that shot came in from the front. There's just no way. That's not a entry wound. So if people are saying that, I don't believe them. I know Candace Owens went through the medical examiner report and all this shit. Do you believe the medical examiner reports for any of these things that take place? These are the same people that said Jeffrey Epstein hung himself and all this. And it's just blatantly obvious to anyone else in the public that you can't trust these people. And they didn't even do a proper crime scene investigation or an autopsy that was proper or anything. It's all bullshit. The guy was immediately gotten rid of afterward. It's just all bullshit. I don't trust them at all. I do still think the most likely explanation was a shot from the back that went through the back of his neck and exited the front. I guess the most other likely explanation might be I don't know. They have these tiny little drones and shit. You have no idea what they have that could have took him out. It could have been one of those little Slaughter-bot drones that just kind of explodes a thing right into you there, from not far away. But no, it's hard to tell, without knowing if that's what they used, So I just think that the most likely thing is the bullet from behind, small caliber. And I think most likely it was done, once again, because Israel didn't want Charlie Kirk turning on them. So they were like, oh, we can take this narrative and make this a pro-Israel narrative where we now have a martyr that was killed by these tranny pro-Palestine people. And I think they just decided that was better than letting Turning Point become anti-Israel. So I think that's the most likely explanation what happened there. It's interesting, it's mostly out of the news cycle now. They've completely cleansed the news cycle of this type of stuff already. It's already on to the next thing, which is the ceasefire thing, and Trump needs a Nobel Peace Prize. I thought we were all in agreement that the Nobel Peace Prize was something given out to Epstein Island visitors. Ooh. Yeah, okay. And in that regard, things are not looking good for any of the establishment on either side of the political aisle. It looks like they're all, as we said, Epstein Island visitors. And is that why Donald Trump has done nothing about the Federal Reserve Bank? Is that why they talked a big game about ending the Fed and ending inflation, and now that they're in office, none of that is happening? Not even slightly? It's funny, we were talking about the movie Armageddon the other day, and the pilots that were going up to save the world, right? One of the things they asked for was, we don't want to have to pay taxes anymore. But I was joking, I was like, there's no way they would give them that. There would be some Jewish guy in the back, some bankster, who'd be like, seriously, if they do save the world, but they don't have to pay taxes, why did we even save the planet? If I can't get taxes, then, Just let the planet die. That's basically the Federal Reserve bankers. You know they would rather just have the planet blow up than have us not pay them taxes. Plus interest, of course. Yeah, they just would rather not exist than not have us paying them money. I got some epic memes for Meme Wars too, by the way. Very funny stuff. So, but I'm going on with some dude named Ollie G, possibly. And then there's this other guy with a podcast I'm going to go on, and we're going to talk about all this Epstein stuff. So that should be good. I've also been allowed to appeal to reinstate my original large YouTube channel with 40,000 subscribers. So I've done that again today. They say it takes 2 business days to review these things. Last time it took them 3 weeks to review it, and they said no at the end of 3 weeks. So we'll see what Pajit says over there at Team YouTube, if the Indians are now willing to give me my channel back or not. So hopefully it does, and if they do, I'll upload the Epstein documentary to that channel, and hopefully we'll be back in business with a large YouTube channel. However, until then, share it where it is, which is on this channel, and stay subscribed, smash like, all those kinds of things. And please share that documentary. It took countless hours to put together, really early in the morning, really late at night. And I believe it deserves a lot more views than it is getting because of how important the information is about the Epstein ring. So go and share that, please. And I'll be back on this channel for sure with a Meme Wars episode very soon. And I'll let you all know where to go see the interviews I'll be doing if I do them. All right? Peace out, everybody. Take care.